starting a new video. I'm a little late to... Okay, let me get everything set up here, get to the proper creator dashboard. It was supposed to start at 10, but I overslept. I was making YouTube videos last night until later. That's a personal problem, huh? As soon as I make sure that... Oh! We're not doing that, so... 10 minutes... Alright. Chess... Slash... Puzzles... Puzzle... That's too many Z's. Puzzle Rush... Survival... And... 10 minute rapid games. Alright. Enter. Done. Queen's Gambit condition. Okay, that's fine. Alright, cool. So, I'm gonna start with puzzles. Puzzle Rush. Survival. Alright. So, white to move. Well, so king covers here, here, and here, so mate. Okay, nobody is protecting the back rank, so mate. Alright, so nobody is protecting this rook. He left the back rank. Let's see here. What am I looking at? I could pin it, but that doesn't do anything. You can, what? Actually, this is scary, because he's got the, wait, black to move. So, black to move. I don't want to get mated. I feel like I probably, well, I can't do that because, okay, so I'm thinking if I bring it down here, which, oh, I also have this. Okay, so this is probably stronger. So this will block off this. Okay, so that would mate him, so this. Okay, so I've got a battery lined up at this, which is no longer defended. Alright, so what do I have here? I've got this battery aiming at this, and this square is covered. Alright, so what do I have here? Probably just mate here. Alright, so mate. I could do that, but much stronger is probably just mate. So this pawn is hanging, and then mate here, so. Alright. Well, sorry, Frederick, I can't do much about you. Okay, so if I go here, and I let him take, and then I go here, then either has to take, and I take back, and then this clears this, the rest of the way. Doing it now would just get taken, and then I wouldn't be able to push this one, so I feel like this is the move. But what about this first? If I push this first, what is the point? So if I... The idea is, if I could push this guy first, and if he takes, then this will be doubled, which will make it easier for me to... but it's only like a 700 level. Okay. Well, there's only so many moves, so... If I do this, and then he does this, it saves the pawn. And then I can do this, and he does this. And I do this, and then he probably, like, now he's probably going to, like, move the king here. Wait, what? So queen checks here. No blockers. Mate on this. Okay. So iconic mates. First, you check him on the second rank. Get him away. Check. Mate. Alright. So, let's see here. What do I have? I have this and this, which is a pretty strong move. What's his defense? If I do this and then he does this, well, that does not matter, so he doesn't even counterattack. I feel like that's probably the strongest move in the position. Even if he sacks his bishop here, and then I take, and he could take, but I don't think that's gonna happen. Alright, so king, king, mate. Okay, so here, king moves here, and then here, and then king would have to move like here or here, but it's still mate, so check. Well, I didn't have to figure it all out, I guess. Okay, let's see here. I was thinking this, but that doesn't work because of this, but it does pin it to the king, but it doesn't work here, so I shouldn't explore it anymore. Oh, there's a fancy move. Takes, then this, and the king, okay, so that's probably it. Okay, he wants to go for a queen trade. The queen is no longer guarding the second rank. Okay, he checked me. So I don't want to move the queen because there is a battery here, so I take with pawn. Take? Well, why not take? Oh. Okay. So I could take, but I noticed that I've got a queen staring at this guy. So I could go here, which would check the king. Benefits, pros, I mean, he would move. I also have this check. It doesn't work because of this, and this, and this, so probably not that check. I could go here, and then I could go here, but I feel like because it's already hanging in multiple ways, there's no reason to get super fancy for that one specific thing. I could get here, which would block the queen from coming in. And then I could get to the back rank. So that might be it. I don't think it's here. I mean, it's probably somewhat interchangeable. Okay. So if I put the here, then that means that this one and this one are off limits, as well as this entire file, which only gives him here or here. But the queen can get this square after the knight goes to either of these. I think this is probably the move. Alright, so thinking here allows take, then it doesn't really do anything because the king can run away. Run away? Okay, what else do I have? What if I sack the rook? that is interesting. So if I sack the rook, the king has to take it because it can't get out. And then I can get the queen over here to check, and then I can mate. So that's... Okay. So... he is currently looking at my rook. Oh, I just noticed something. So, if I sack my rook, and he takes it, then I can get my queen over here, which would guard this, and this. His rook is blocked, so then he would have to go here, and then the queen could go there. So I think it's a rook sack! Okay, so, what now? So he's got an enemy rook here. He's got like a lot of pressure on my position here. He doesn't have this, but I'm supposed to be looking for attacks. I have this check, which is interesting. Why is that interesting? Because then it would attack him here and here. So the king would have to move, and he would have to move to the back rank. Here or here. And if I get my rook here, okay, so if I check him here, no, not like that. So if I go here, it will check the king here. It will also check the king here. So the king would have to move back to the back rank. So if I move the knight again, say here, wait, no, that's not how knights move. So here, here. Then where's my follow-up? Here. And the king would have to move up, and then the back rank. Okay, so that's probably the move. Oh, I was thinking I could move the king here, but it gets out here. So, is there a better move? I mean, the rook's hanging, so I have to do something with the rook. I mean, I could go and attack the knight. And the knight checks me at the bottom here. Well, the bishop's no longer, like, covering that, so that's pretty good. What are the benefits if I check him one more time? He has to go, like, here. Oh! And then I have this fork here. Okay, so that's pretty good. Okay. So, I check. King moves here. Mate. Okay. So, I'm thinking I could take if takes, which, okay, actually, if takes, if takes, he could Desperado one more time, and then I win that, and then he goes back. Do I have a better move? I don't think it's really sack the queen. Bring the rook, but that, no. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then 6. So I would get a bishop, he would get a queen, he would get a pawn, but I would get a queen, so he would get a queen and a pawn, but I would get a bishop and a queen. So I think this exchange actually favors me. Well, you hadn't, should have probably desperadoed. Oh, okay, so this is protected, so I don't have to worry about that. So I think probably just taking is fine. Alright, so my queen's under attack. This pawn. Also, I have this rook. So, if I check him first... Okay, because the rook was guarding the pawn, so I feel like that's pretty important. So, if queen checks as opposed to what? What if I sack the rook first, though? If I sack the rook first, it's with check, so he would have to take back. And then what? Then I could take again, and then I could probably attack the rook, which is stronger than just taking the pawn. So again, that is 1. I would expect take, because he can't do much else, he can't block it, so he has to do that. So then I go here, and then if he goes here, then I can bring the other rook, and then get him away. Get him away, get him away! Alright. Okay. So... Oh, look at that. So I have this check. He can't take back. He has to move. What are the benefits of him moving? Oh, that knight is protecting. This knight is guarding. This is a forcing move. Okay, and then I can win. Okay. Yeah, so this works. Okay. So just want to double check that he can sack it, but then I just win it back. I lost rook. But if I do this, and he takes, and I take, and then, well, he has to do something, and I could go pick up the rook, so that's probably a stronger move. Alright, so... what am I looking at? So if I do this, it will threaten mate here. What is your defense, sir? Don't have much of a defense. You should not probably have moved that piece there, because now I get this. Huh. Oh, he's hanging his queen. I almost missed it. Sometimes I do not miss when people hang their queen. I mean, sorry, sometimes I miss when people do hang their queen. Okay, so, now what do we got? So, I could win a queen by sacking the bishop, which is pretty strong. Do I have a better move? Oh, it's also protected by the queen. And is it also mate? So, here is blocked, here is blocked. So, it's not only a skewer, but also attacks the queen. So, I gotta play this one. Okay, so he's got 2 queens, but neither of his queens are doing anything to protect his back rank, so I'm just gonna go over here. Okay. So now I have this, and I can say, get away! Okay, strategy is I can say, get away from the queen! Okay. So, he's attacking, he's defending. He attacks, he defends. Wait, no, what is it? But most importantly, he's a snack. I forget what, where that came from. He protects, he attacks, but most importantly, he's a snack. Okay, but, okay, so I noticed that I do have this, so I can pick up the rook, which is more important than this pawn. So, and if I move this back, then I don't have that anymore, so that's probably a bad move. I don't see any problems with this at all. And this does check, but it doesn't do anything. Okay. So just pick up the rook for free. Is there any other more? No, I don't see any other checks. Oh, you know what? I didn't even see that that was hanging. Okay. So, I could say, let's trade, but I don't think that works for me because then he gets to go back here. And then if I block again, then he can do this. So I feel like moving it to a spot where the queen can't get to it is probably best. Just want to double check. I mean, so there's only two moves. Either I block and then he comes back, and then I move, I guess. I don't. No. Yeah, he would have to move. And then I could block again, but if he gets to... What? I just realized something. This piece is hanging twice. Okay. So, I was thinking, I do have this move, not now because I'm in check, but, if I move here, and then he takes, he can take this way, or he can take 3 different ways. What is my bishop doing over here? Who made the bishop go over there? I don't know what the follow-up is, though. If I move it here, he's got no more checks. And then I just, like, lose the bishop. And I'm expecting this, because I wanted this. So this, if the bishop comes back, then it will guard this square. So I can't use it. If I go here, that's not good. If I go here, he doesn't have that check, so he would have to move like here again. Should I try to go for some sort of Here, he doesn't have to do anything with the queen, so he can just go pick up the rook for free. But if I do this, then he has to do something with the queen. He has to defend it somehow. He'll probably take, and I will take back, and then he'll take this piece. And then I won't have much going for me in life anymore. But I'll probably take with the rook. Well, no. He wouldn't take with the rook because he's so smart. So he would probably take with the bishop just to cover this check. If he took this, then that would put more pressure on this. But it would fail to the queen getting to here. So for that reason, I don't... Okay. Okay. I was going to say, well, I can't leave it here because then it would get pinned. If I go here... This one's a tricky one. Okay. Here. There. And I can get the queen over here. And then what does he do? Well, he would move the bishop out of the way? No, he wouldn't move the bishop out of the way. That's not... Okay. So, if here, he's got no more checks. So I'll probably do this. And the queen just doesn't have enough time to do anything, really. I don't want to lose the queen for free, so I'm not going to do that. What happens if I do this? Oh, this is a really bad move now that I'm seeing it. Oh, no, it's not. No, it's not. Because if I go here, I was concerned that you can say, move! But then I take. So that's fine. So if I go here, then the queen won't be able to do anything. But that would encourage him to either take the pawn. The pawn is protected by the bishop. The far-reaching bishop. So if I go here, then here, then here. Or I could just, like, go back and forth. Here, 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 here. I mean, I wouldn't lose, but I don't want to just not lose. I want to win. I'm at 33. I haven't used any of my strikes yet, is what I'm trying to say. So I'm in pretty good shape compared to some of the other puzzle rushes that I've done in the past. If I go here, the queen also has this. Oh, I just realized something. If I go here, then he still has this. He doesn't even have to pin it. He can just say, move out of the way. Okay, so I don't think it's this move. For that reason, I do not think it is this move. Okay? Because if I moved here, then he would be able to sack his bishop. If he sacked his bishop, then I would have to move the queen? The king. Okay, I don't have to take the bishop though. So I can move here. But then he just like takes anyway, and then so he just like wins a pawn. So I feel like this is probably the move. Okay, that's what I expected. Okay, so now I don't have this check that I wanted. So I could move here, and it would threaten mate here. So he would have to do something with the bishop. And then I can move here. Okay, so that's pretty strong. I think I'll go ahead and do that. It was so strong you have to sack your queen? Wow. Okay. But do I have a stronger move? Check. He moves here. Okay, so I could win the queen, or I could check him here. If I check him here, he could block. And then I could pick up this piece. And he would still have to move, but assuming that he doesn't block. Wait, what? And then he moves here. Well, if he moves there, then I don't have any follow-up? Okay. I know that the queen is hanging, but I just want to explore if there's a mate. So here, because I can't go here, this is protected by the bishop. He can't go there, so he goes here, because that's like the only move. I don't have a follow-up, so I'm just going to win the queen. Alright. So, I'm noticing that this is not protected. I'm also noticing I have this, which is pretty strong. Because if king takes, queen can come over and check. King has to move out of the way. And then, this guy is like pinned. So then I can get the queen here and put more pressure, and then I can bring out the other rook. So I think I'm going to try that. Okay. And the queen goes here. So, I was going to say I'll play this. Because it checks both. And he'll have, okay, so that's probably it. Alright, so he's attacking my rook. But my rook can infiltrate further. And this guy is protecting this guy. This guy's protecting this guy, so his only move is here. In which case, I have this further check here, which would get him here and here. And because he can't go there, okay, so that's pretty strong. Alright, so the bishop protects, so the rook can move here. I can't move here because the bishop protects, but I can move here, which also checks the king. Just double check that. So if the knight is here, it will block. Okay, he doesn't have any squares, so this has got to be the move. Okay, so what am I looking at here? So black to move. Black's covering here, black's covering here, so the only move, that square that he's got is here, and this is unblockable, so I'm going to do this. And then, well, okay, so I can attack the rook in the corner. Do I have a stronger move, though? Well, I bet you it had, oh. So I do have this. What is the benefit? I would allow this. I have this. The last second. I have this. I don't think that's right. You know what? I've got this, eventually this, but not yet. Which is kind of scary. Thinking. If queen gets here, then I would have to move here, and then mate. Oof. So whatever I do, it's probably got to be like checks, captures, and attacks. Wait, no, it's just like checks. Okay, if I go here and I sack the knight, then what? I could thrust a pawn in his face? What does that do? I mean, if he can't take it, then he would probably move to a light square just to avoid getting checked anymore. And then I could push again. So then I would force him onto a dark square, and then... Okay. That is interesting. I could take... He probably wouldn't take. Okay, so if queen goes here, it will guard here and here. I would expect the king to go here. If the king goes here, then I can throw a pawn in his face, which he can't take. So, in this position, where will the king be able to go? So the king's here. The knight's no longer here. The queen is here. The queen's got these squares. The pawn goes and attacks the king. The king can go forwards. And then I can check him again. And then, okay, that's probably gotta be it. Okay. So actually I didn't see him going there. But that's okay because I still have this. And if this, then this. So that's probably fine. So the first thing I'm noting is that I have this fork. Uh-huh. Okay, so if this fork, he can, I mean, if here, I don't see any other move that could be better than this right now. Everything else would be like too slow and allow him to move. So I think this has got to be the move. Alright, so I could take benefits of taking, or I could take here first. I kind of like the idea of taking here first because then it puts the pawn here. It also makes sure that my structure doesn't, well, I mean, am I too concerned about that? Ooh. And then trades, and then it strengthens my center. As opposed to, if I go here, then he goes here. Then, I don't know, here, here, here. Decisions. So, I take, he takes. Because he's attacking my queen, so I'll take back. Then queen takes. I see, like, no specific problem with this at all. If I take, then he gets this, and he gets a stronger center. Is that it? Well, I don't. He doesn't have to take, is the thing. He doesn't have to take. He can just leave his knight there and wait for me to take, so I think that I probably should take. Okay, I wasn't considering that at all. Is this a threat? He is currently checking me, but I have this, which attacks his queen, so he has to do something. Is he going to do this? And then I take. I mean, I could always move the king out of the way, but I don't think that's the move. You know, I could move him here. Okay, but that doesn't work, because he gets this. So I think probably just saying, get out of my face. Okay, so I was considering this move, but he's got this move, which... which doesn't work. His defense is faster than my attack. So I go here, he could go here. And then I don't have this because it's guarded. Wait, no, I was gonna say, I could take it. No, that's not how that works. I could take it, and if the rook takes, well, I was thinking if the king takes, then I can go here and mate him, but I'm not expecting that. I'll probably take with the rook again. Oh, actually, so I can go here, and if he goes here, I do not have to do anything. go. Well, I could. What about this? For the simple reason that that's too slow, I need to find something else. Oh, well, I was thinking if I have here and he does this, I could do this with the queen guard, so it's not good. I was thinking this, but that doesn't work either, because I'd just, like, lose it. Here, here. There. What does that do? Not much. I don't have this. It doesn't do anything. Well, it does. Oh, I just realized it does something, actually. So, hypothetically, it. Wait a second. So here. Here. Takes. Takes. Okay, this is interesting. So here. Here. Takes. Takes. Sack. Why would you want to sack? Because if the king takes, the queen can go here and check him again. The king would have to move somewhere. Here or here. No, he can't move here. Here, the rook is guarded. And then, where's the follow-up? What if I sack this? Why would you sack this? It moves? That doesn't work. Queen takes, rook takes, not good. This move is too easy to parry, and it's not going to even be available in the next move, probably. I was thinking here. Here. I mean, it's like the strongest thing in the position because it's threatening me. I don't see any other, like, tactics or anything here. My grandmother said that it's a beautiful day outside, and that she's hoping that I get to enjoy it, but I hope that she gets to enjoy it. Her recovery is more important. Okay. If sacks, then takes, and then there's guarded on the other side. Here, here. Because there's no other move that he can play here. And then what about here? And he's gonna do this. Okay, so here, takes, here, like this, defends. Queen laterally defends here. This one's a hard puzzle. I'm sure that smarter people would like look at it and say, "Oh, the answer is quite obvious, actually." Here. 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 King would not do this, because that's a losing move. So the rook takes. So if the rook takes, the queen's here, then what? Whoa. What am I looking at? What if queen here? Why would queen there? Check here. King would have to move here. Here. King would have to move back. Here. King could move back. Here. That doesn't really work. It's interesting, but it doesn't work. Here. 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 Then mate. It probably has to be a forcing move. This is the most forcing move I see in the position. That's why I keep coming back to it. But maybe I'm just like stuck on it. Need to like explore. I mean, what other options are there? No, this rook doesn't really do anything. What is the threat? What is his threat right now? He doesn't really have one. But the point of puzzles is it's like, I feel like it's less positional and it's more tactical, which is probably why puzzles are good. I do have this. The rook moves. I can bring it back. Rook moves. Rook moves back. That's a good bishop. I don't want to move him. If here, and what if I don't take? What if I just like sit on his chest like that? Then what? I mean, I was thinking this. It's too slow. Here. 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 What does it do, though? At a certain point, this guy is going to be guarding the square too. So, and at a certain point, if the queen no, the queen won't have that. Queen, why would you do that? I don't think that's it either. I don't think that's the move. Don't think that's the move either. This is interesting. what is his defense against all of that? Okay, so to review. If I put the queen here, I mean, assuming that he takes, why wouldn't he take? But he doesn't have to take if it like leads to this line. So if takes, then I lose the rook. This never works. This whole idea never works because this is covered. So that's just stupid. Here. So the big question is, do I take or do I just like not take? If I don't take and I just like sit there, but I would expect take at a certain point, and then I can bring the rook in. And so the king can't move up, which is good. Then what? I'm sitting on his chest and making him feel very uncomfortable. And if the rook is here, then I can move the queen behind the rook. But at a certain point there's this, and the queen will guard. So if the queen is guarding and this guy is attacked, I don't think that that's a good move. Queen here, bishop there, here, sacks, y sacks, and I get here, y, king then moves back, and there is no follow-up to this entire thing. Here, why? Nope. So if here, why? I mean, he doesn't have to take, but if he did take, I could check him here, and then that would make him. But as far, where's the follow-up? If I know that I'm sacking the rook, but he doesn't have to take it. So then I just have like this stupid looking rook here. And then he's just gonna like, I don't know, say, get out of my face. And then it's just like, well, the rook is still hanging, and it's not doing anything. But again, that idea is, here, takes, check. He has to go here, and then I mate. So that idea works. But he doesn't have to take it, so that's hope chess, which I'm told not to play. Got a first time chats from inflationary constrictor. What? Constrictor V. Constrictor V. Okay. Inflationary constrictor V. I'll have to get that over. But it's more of a bot that's just telling me that I can buy fake people. I don't want fake people to watch my stream. I want real people to watch my stream. I think that would make it more interesting. But any any engagement is better than no engagement at all. So what am I thinking? It can't be this move. Because he doesn't have to take it. Can I force him to take it? What happens if I mean, what's my follow-up if he doesn't take it? So for that reason, I don't think that's the move. Here, here, then what? I don't have to take. If I don't take, now how do I make the attack stronger? Bring the rook from... That doesn't work, because the queen guards. And further, it can be like... Well, not on this move, but it could be further guarded like that. I don't think it has to do with this. He does have this, or he has this. Queen's gonna guard the second rank. For the same reason I don't, so it's just, this works like worse, because, as I said before, the bishop covers. I was looking for a focus mode. So, what else? I don't think that's the move. Queen here, so if takes, and then throws out, and this is guarded. King's not in any danger. What if I go here, takes, moves here? Well, that's interesting. I have a deflection tactic. So if here, and then here, then what? Deflection, why? To get the queen off of protecting the second rank. What would that do? And it wouldn't do enough. But if here, then here, then here, I would be hanging this bishop. He could take it. If he took it, well, I was thinking that I could attack the rook. But that doesn't do anything. The queen's still like... So then I would just like hang a piece for nothing, so that's probably not the move. Alright, I'm gonna use the restroom, BRB. Hopefully it helps me figure out this puzzle. Alright, and I have returned. Alright. So... Man, this puzzle is hard. And they're only gonna get harder. Okay. Okay. What about here? Then here. Then sack. Why would you sack? I would expect that the king would take. And the queen can move over here. And then, after that, if the queen is here and the bishop's no longer here and the king is here, the king would have to move. Well, then I would have a bishop here that was guarding. Okay, so let's try this again. So here, he takes. I sack. He takes. I check. Or also I could check here. If I check here, and then he moves out of the way, let's say here, then where is my follow-up? I don't have any pieces. I sacked them all, and they didn't. They didn't do anything. Okay. Man. Try to find this in a 10-minute rapid game. No, thank you. That's what I should have said. I should stay in bed. Temptation. I give in so easily. What if I do this? Allows this. And I can get here. And you do not have time to do anything. But why would I put the rook here in the first place? It's not doing anything. It's not doing anything, and you could still flush my bishop out. Here. 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 Just sort of hangs a pawn for no reason, so that's probably not the move. So here. Here. I don't take. What is the move? Do I have a follow-up? Well, that's interesting, actually. So if I go here, and he goes here, and then I could then sack the bishop. Why would you sack the bishop? Assuming that he takes this way, and then I take here, and he takes, and then I check here, which is defended by the bishop. So that's not an issue. I mean, that's not a threat. I have this. What does this do? Not much. It would encourage this. It would block off his bishop, but I think it's more likely that he would take. And I can't take back, because then I would get mated. So I can't let this open up. I'll probably have to do this. And here. Oh boy. Here, here, well, then there. Okay, so So, what about here, here, here? So, if takes here, this is still guarded. So, again, 1, 2. I don't do anything. Bring another rook. Why would you bring another rook? So if takes, then takes, and then I could bring the other rook here. And my queen is sitting on his chest. He'll probably say, trade with me? Okay, so let's try this again. 1, 2, 3, 4. He doesn't have to, but he could. I take. He could move here to attack that, but that's not really no, he can't. So 1, 2, 3, 4. No, I think that for that specific reason, it's not a good move either. Dun, 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 dun. I give in so easily. No, thank you. That's what I should have said. There's no. Oh, I've been looking at this for a while, huh? Some people can get up to thousands when it comes to this. I mean, this would lead to mate, but he doesn't have to take, so that doesn't work. That doesn't work. This is too slow. So here, here, queen trade. Here, no queen trade. Yes, queen trade here. And he moves his rook and his bishop here. And I just don't have enough time to double up. It's too slow. Okay, so what if queen here, bishop here, takes, rook takes, rook comes here, benefit, queen trade, can't get back. Okay. Here. 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 Expecting this. And then I have like no threats. Oh wait, and then I can double up the rooks here. So if he were to take, then I would take the rook. Well, the rook that would be here. And this bishop wouldn't be hanging. And then what? Well, then what would be bad? Okay, so I think that's a bad move. So here, here. I don't take. Bring up the rook. The queen comes over to ask for a trade, and I bring the rook here, which guards the queen. So what he can do is he can probably take, rook takes, rook takes, then he can fork both of my rooks. So that's not good for me. Boy, oh boy, oh boy. Man. Here. Here. Should I just start with this move? Well, if it doesn't have a follow-up, why would I play it? Takes. Rook takes. Oh. So queen here. Sacks. Takes. Mate. So there is that. But here. Takes. Let's try this again. Here. Sacks. Takes. That doesn't work because the bishop covers, so don't think it's that. I don't think it's this. Here? Well, that's interesting, though. Queen takes. Here. Rook takes. Oh, boy. Man. This is a hard puzzle. Let's go over different moves then. Does this do anything? Hang the pawn immediately. For no specific reason. It's already hanging, so I guess that has nothing to do with anything. Sorry, Alvin. Alright, Charlie's blocked. Denver is stuck. Well, Denver has no way to advance in life. Wait, what? Here? Here. 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 I don't think this is the move. But, let's do it again. So here, assuming takes, then takes, and he doesn't even have to do anything. Okay. Here, fork. Probably not. So here, here. What if I move the bishop back? That's interesting. So, that's actually really interesting. So, let's try this again. So queen here. And I bring it back here, which attacks the queen. So the queen probably has to move. The queen probably wants to move here anyway. So if I go here, and then here, and then here. Let's try this again. So queen. So queen here. Rook here. No. Let's do a different color. So I will be green. Here. Bishop moves here. Queen moves here. Which offers a queen trade. Queen. The bishop could then move here. I'm sorry, not here. So, if the queen takes, then I can sit on his chest like that and have this super powerful bishop. But on the next turn, he can even do this or this, so I don't think that works long term. And I'd have, like, no real way to defend it. Here, excuse me, here, here. 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 The queen's still here. Sack the rook. I could try sacking the bishop first. Okay, so here, here. Takes, takes. Sack. Takes back. Where's the follow-up? Except, now, because this is protected by the bishop, I keep covering this, dude. This square is protected. And if in a pinch, this square is protected. So here. 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 And this is defended. Here. Attacks the rook has to move. So let's try this again. 1, 2, takes, takes. And then queen could retreat here, but then he could even do this. And then I could do this, which would do this. And then where's the follow-up? Again, 1, 2, 3, 4. So you could sack the rook, takes, sack the bishop, takes. It's a lot of sacking, and there is no follow-up. One more time. Here. 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 If sacks the bishop and takes this way, then mates. But if he doesn't sack the bishop, if he doesn't do that and he takes this way, then this is guarded, this is blocked. This is going to become incoming at any point anyway. Sack. Take. And the queen can get over here. This seems like the most forcing move, though. Am I just like tunnel vision on this move and there's like a better move on the board? Here. Too slow. What? Here. 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 Oh, the rook wouldn't be there if I sacked. Here. 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 It's not there anymore. Here. 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 Just that. Here. Here. That doesn't work either. Wait, yes it does. Whoa, whoa, whoa. It's deflection. It's deflection. So, let's try this again. So, here. Here. Covers mate. Bishop takes. Rook takes. Queen goes back to attack mate on this. I'm expecting something like this. So, if takes, the rook is no longer guarded, the bishop's no longer there either. The queen is protecting this. So it would guard against this, which is actually a pretty strong move. I think I'm gonna try this. Okay. So queen comes back. Fuck! Double check. Double check. If I go here, it would be a double check. Excuse me. Both of these squares do work. I go here, I could actually win this, which would threaten mate, so that's not a bad move, I don't think. So here, king could move here, I guess, and then I could just pick it up for free. But what's the benefit to doing this move? He could still move there, and then this would be under attack, and then I could move here. And he could, like, I don't know, do this, and then double check. Would the king move off? Which direction would he move in? Then I could go here, which would threaten mate, and the queen would come over here. And then I could go here. As opposed to this. And the king moves here. And I move here. And then he moves like here. And then my brain is starting to hurt. I'm like upset that I lost that puzzle that I thought, is it going to explain it? Just, I already spent lots of time on that. Just solve it. I moved here. You moved there. I thought about sacking, but it doesn't work. It doesn't work. It doesn't work. How? Where's the follow-up? Oh. I was so close. Thought it was too slow. But it turns out it wasn't. So annoying. Here. King moves there. And then mine. It's unprotected. Here. Here. Blocks the queen. King moves. What happens? Takes. Wins knight. Let's try this again. So here. It doesn't. Okay, so king has to move. The king could move here. In which case, then I could do this, which would threaten mate. But he's got this. But I've also got... No, that doesn't work either. Double check. He can't do anything. He has to move. He moves here, assuming. Why would he do that? You know, he'd probably move over here, which makes more logical sense, but... You know, he was trying to keep incentive. He can't... What am I talking about? He doesn't have this. He never has this. He's got to move to the corner. And then I do this. Why would I do this? He's got, like, the queen here, for example. Oh, wait, what? Okay, so it's not this move, because if he moves here, and I do this, then he can just take. So if it's this, then he moves away, and then I take, which threatens mate, but additionally it takes away so I think it's gotta be this guy. Okay. What was I saying? He doesn't have this! But it's still this move. This? What happens if I do this? Takes, queen here. Oh. Yes, I see it now. So if here, this bishop guards, so if this guy moves, then I go here and nail him. Okay. that was almost a mistake. That doesn't work either, but this one does. Oh, I was scared. I was just like, did I mess up? Okay, so I am in trouble. I'm in a lot of trouble right now. So, he's cutting me off. He's cutting me off. He's cutting me off. He's cutting me off. Bishops. The only thing that's being hit. Okay. Alternatively, the rook is also hanging. So I can take the bishop, or I can take the rook. If I take the rook, then the bishop comes down. And then I could go here. And if I go here, he's got this. I feel like this is stronger. So if he has this, then I go here. And if he has this, which is the bishop's blocked. But he does have this. No, he doesn't, because I have this. So I feel like I'm sad. I'm so sad. Come on, dude. So why? Why? It's a good outpost square, but is it really doing anything? Here, to double up. I mean, he moves the bishop on this turn. Well, I lose this at a certain point. Here, why? And he just like does that, and he says, "What are you doing, sir?" I mean, I guess I could. No, not because it's here. Here, here. And she's like, "No, you can't do that. I don't want you to do that." Here. Takes. With check, so probably not that move. Here. Why? Here. Why? Here, attacks here. What about here? Here, it's a double attack on these two. So he can only save one at a time. So that might actually be the move. Then he loses this. And even if he... Then I just take the queen. So that seems like... So... Take this guy? Alright! Made it to 22-29. That's pretty good. Fork. 2. This guy's hanging. Do I have a better move? So this comes with check. And he moves. Or he moves. Interesting. I could check him here. So I know that the rook is hanging to this fork. my rook is also hanging, so my queen's doing a job right now. So I don't want to just like... So, here, 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 here. Wait. So let's try this again. Check. You can't go there, you can't go there. So you can go here, on the light square. How do I do a green square? Or you can go here. If he goes to the red square, then the queen can come back. This pawn's no longer here, and it would check the king. King could block like this. The queen could come back to the square that she was, and then the king would have to probably move back to the corner, so it would make more sense for him to start in the corner, I guess. Here. Here. Oh. So, even if here... Oh boy. So here... Here. No, not in this case. Here, probably here. I could pick up the rook, and he picks up my rook. And I could pick up the check. Or, if he just moves there, and then I just pick up with check, which is still pretty strong. So here, assuming here, and then I pick up the rook, and then he picks up my rook. And then I come back, and I check him here. He puts a pawn in my face. I could take here, and then he could put the knight here, which checks me, and then I would have to go here. Knight is defended, so the queen would mate me, so I don't have enough time. Check. Moves here, assumingly. Wait a second. Check. Moves somewhere. Check. Here. And then picks up the rook. Then here. Could even do that. Which gets him away from my rook. Or I could check immediately, and then he moves off. Check. Takes. Moves. That doesn't work. Wait. If I take first, and he moves here, and I go here, and sack my queen, and then I bring it back. Oh well, sorry. You can't do that yet. Well, it would have to move, excuse me, from here to here. And my bishops that's here would check him here, and then you would have to go here. But there is not much of a follow-up here. Alternatively, I could just like sack this piece. Well, at the very least, you could get a draw if you wanted to, going back and forth here. So if I took here, he took here, then I go here, and then he'd go here, check, and then I'd move back here, and then he'd come back, check. And then I move back here, and then he goes back, so that's like a guaranteed draw. This. Assuming he moves here so he can avoid the check. If I were to do this, then I would lose the bishop, so that's not going to work. So I think it would have to be here, 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 here. And this is where it's getting super dicey. I could bring the queen all the way back with check. And then I could force a queen trade. So I think because of that, it's pretty strong. Okay. So the moment of truth. Okay. So that's what I discovered. I thought that. What about this? What about this? What? Oh, so I'm thinking here, here, rook. And it's still hanging. Okay. So it's to force the king to a certain position. Okay. So got to level 40. Beat my highest strength. Highest solved is 2229. Alright. So now. So I think I'm going to divide this into another. No, I'm just going to continue. Alright, so play online. Let's see if the Puzzle Rush has helped me in any sort of way. Ready? It's been nearly 2 hours, actually. So I think I should actually stop this stream and start a new one. That way people that aren't interested in puzzles don't have to watch puzzles. So I'm going to go back to OBS. I'm going to stop the recording. So, if you are watching this on YouTube, and you like this video, please consider giving me a like. It feeds my self-esteem, and consider subscribing for more content like this. Sorry, I'm still getting better at this. Alright, until next time.